Well, the bag is progressing. The first shot was crap, hitting the water. The second shot, I stiffed it. So, no, it's as I was telling what Mark was saying, at Augusta. I have good days and bad days. I've had 3 back operations, and that's just kind of the nature of the business, unfortunately. That's all I can say.
Well, we know about Tiger Woods, 4 back surgeries since 2014. Some people wonder how many majors could he have won. He got to 14, but could he get to 18? But when you think of athletes who we never got to really see achieve their full potential, who comes to mind for you?
Well, I think Tiger Woods is on the short list, and of those on the short list, he also is the most accomplished. He is the greatest player ever of accomplishment, and then afterwards, man, it could have been so much better.
Okay.
Just a postscript on Tiger, he was an old 41-year-old golfer at this point. When he won his last major in 08, he was an old 33-year-old golfer. He was pro unofficially at 2. He went on the Mike Douglas show, and at that point, people were saying he has to be a pro golfer. But, yeah, basketball comes to mind.
Okay.
And I think because of feet and knees.
Oh, yeah. Greg Oden, really sticks out for me. What he did at the college level, going to the national championship game, even though they lost, being the #1 pick. I had such high expectations.
He did, too. Do you remember the Sports Illustrated cover when he said, I'm not talking 1, 2 rings, I'm talking 10?
Yeah, and he only played like 61 games his first season, maybe 20 the next, took a few years off, tried to come back. But as it pertains to people who we never even really got to see play, like some other guys like Penny Hardaway, career was cut short, Grant Hill, but they still came back, and, we saw them for years. But Greg really only got like 1 year that was close to a full season.
Yeah, I agree. Like Penny, I think there are 2 categories here. There are the guys that we know were very good.
Yeah.
And injuries kept them from going to the Hall of Fame.
Like Penny Hardaway.
Penny Hardaway. Ralph Sampson.
Okay.
In football, Sterling Sharp.
Yep.
He was going to the Hall of Fame if he didn't have a career-ending injury. Brandon Roy, I think, goes to the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
If you look at his metrics,
yeah,
they were better than anyone under 6'7" in the 4 years that he was thriving.
He had the potential. That's just a huge projection. I'm not going to say it couldn't have happened.
Yeah.
We know that he won Rookie of the Year, but even his rookie season, he had a ton of injuries and only played in 57 games.
Yes.
So you have to wonder, though, he was a clutch guy. He could get the job done late in games.
How about Portland? Portland got cursed in a way.
Yeah.
Because, you look back and go, you should have picked Durant. No, at the time, everyone said pick Odom.
That was the guy to get.
But then the other category are those that are great.
Okay.
But injuries kept them from being in the discussion of legendary.
Okay.
Or the best of their generation. Here are the guys I would say. Gale Sayers.
Okay.
Bill Walton.
All right.
Monica Seles, who I think applies to it the most. I think she would be known as maybe the greatest tennis player of all time. Terrell Davis, who was just in the Hall of Fame. Grant Hill, who will go into the Hall of Fame despite a lot of injuries. And for baseball, I think it's Ken Griffey.
All right. I would have to put Bo Jackson on that one as well.
Love that.
In that list as well. With him being a 2-sport guy, we know he was in the Pro Bowl in football, an all-star in baseball, had the huge hip injury, still tried to come back in baseball, but just wasn't the same with the White Sox. We could be talking about him, and some people with some of the legendary things he did in college at Auburn and what we saw from him, in the pros, still consider him the best athlete of all time. He's in that discussion, and we still only got about 3 or 4 years. What if he could have done maybe 7 or 8? I know you can't play 2 sports at a high level for a long time, but if we got a couple of more years, who knows? We can only imagine what he would have been able to do.
I agree. I think Bo Jackson's at the top of that list as well.
Certainly some interesting stuff. Hit us up. Let us know on social media who you think what athletes, injuries really derailed their career, and we didn't get to see their full potential.